Today's tip is to set your future self up for success. Procrastination, we all do it. Some of us more than others. We put off doing things that we know are good for us, like working out or going to the doctor for a checkup. We avoid doing things that we have to or feel like we should do, like taxes or a nagging home repair. I recently read a very apt definition of procrastination as the voluntary delay of an intended act despite the nagging awareness that we'll pay for it later. Why do we do it? It's not like we receive any benefit from it. In fact, like that definition says, we pay for it later. Procrastination often makes us feel bad about ourselves and creates stress and frustration in our lives. It delays or even outright prevents us from reaching the goals we set for ourselves. So that's why I wanted to talk about procrastination today. Why we do it and how we can overcome it. Understanding why we procrastinate is important if we want to figure out how to stop it. One of the main reasons we procrastinate on a task is due to the negative emotions associated with that task. We deal with those negative emotions through avoidance. This is obviously a short-term solution that benefits our present self. Unfortunately, it's our future self that suffers. Our future self still has to complete the task, but gets the added consequences resulting from procrastination. Our present self thinks, I'll feel more like it tomorrow. This line of thinking is known as the presentism bias. We rely on how we feel in the present moment to predict how we will feel in the future. Now, this bias is evident when we grocery shop on an empty stomach versus on a full stomach. Accidentally go grocery shopping on an empty stomach, and you end up the proud owner of aisle 5. In the case of task avoidance, if we're avoiding an unpleasant task and instead doing something enjoyable, we may actually be currently feeling very good. So, when we think about tomorrow with this presentism bias, we're pretty sure that tomorrow we'll be feeling more motivated to complete the task. Of course, in reality, that's not true. Another reason we procrastinate is often related to the task itself. We procrastinate if the steps to complete the task are too vague, if the task seems too large or overwhelming, or if the reward for completing the task is too far in the future. And finally, procrastination can also be related to a neurological condition like ADD or ADHD, or a mental health challenge like anxiety or depression. Now, if this is a concern for you, speak to your doctor or a mental health professional for guidance and support. All of the suggestions I'm about to make will not be helpful in these situations. So, now that we're a little more clear on why we procrastinate, what do we do about it? How can we prevent our present selves from throwing our future selves under the bus, so to speak? Start by looking at how you deal with negative emotions. Can you identify them and sit with them, or do you tend to run from them? It can actually be quite difficult to identify emotions as we're currently feeling them. For example, anger and fear are two emotions that can feel the same in our bodies, so it can be easy to mistake one for the other. One resource I found particularly eye-opening is what's called the feelings wheel, and it's developed decades ago by Dr. Gloria Wilcox. The wheel has 6 core feelings: mad, scared, joyful, powerful, peaceful, and sad. A secondary ring of words helps to narrow those feelings down with 6 more specific descriptions for each core feeling. A third outer ring gets even more specific. In all, there are 72 adjectives to link to your feelings. Yes, you heard that right, 72. It's no wonder we have a hard time identifying how we feel. There are so many options. Follow the link in the show notes for more information about learning to identify your emotions using the feelings wheel. The point I'm trying to make is that if we improve our ability to identify, sit with, and deal with negative emotions, we won't feel the need to avoid them via procrastination. This is challenging and takes a lot of practice, but it's definitely worth the effort. The next, maybe more counterintuitive way to overcome procrastination is to forgive ourselves quickly if we've done it. When we forgive ourselves, we are more willing to get up and try again. Beating ourselves up just creates more negative emotions and perpetuates our tendency towards avoidance. And finally, we can overcome procrastination by taking a closer look at the task we're trying to put off. Are the action steps clear? Do you know where to start and how to proceed from there? Take some time to formulate clear, concrete, and actionable steps. Ask for help if you need it. Break large tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces. Set intermediate deadlines or goals and reward yourself when you achieve them. And identify times in your day where you're naturally higher energy and other times in your day when your energy is low. Plan your schedule and the tasks you will take on accordingly. The tendency to procrastinate is common. It's just one of the messy parts of being human. If you're facing something that you feel inclined to put off, remember, once you begin a task, no matter how much you dread it, your perception of that task will change. Just start and let the momentum build and carry you through. Your future self will thank you. Willpower not required. Thanks so much for listening. I'd love to hear from you, so send me your tips, questions, or feedback. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Fired Up Fitness Coaching, or email me at willpowernotrequired@firedupfitness.ca. Thanks so much. I look forward to connecting with you.